Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Book Flash Podcast. I'm Sean, and I'm joined by the amazing Christy. How are you doing today, Christy?
I'm great, Sean. Super excited for today's episode. We're diving into a really powerful book that has impacted so many lives. The Body Keeps the Score by Bessel van der Kolk.
Absolutely. This book is a game changer. It's all about understanding how trauma affects our minds and bodies, and more importantly, how we can heal from it. It's a deep topic, but it's so relevant to everyone, don't you think?
Definitely. Trauma is something that touches so many lives, whether directly or indirectly. And what's fascinating is how van der Kolk explains that trauma isn't just something that happens in our minds. It's something our bodies hold on to. Have you ever thought about how much our bodies carry, even when we aren't consciously aware of it?
Yeah, that idea that our bodies literally keep the score of everything we've been through is both eye-opening and, honestly, kind of sobering. But it also means that healing isn't just about talking through things, it's about addressing the physical impact of trauma as well. It's like our bodies need to be part of the conversation too, right?
Right. And that's where some of the strategies in the book come into play. Van der Kolk talks about therapies like EMDR yoga and mindfulness. These aren't just mental exercises, they're ways to help our bodies release that trauma. It's empowering to think that we have these tools to help ourselves heal.
Let's dive into one of those strategies. EMDR, for example, it stands for eye movement desensitization and reprocessing. It might sound complex, but it's actually pretty straightforward. Essentially, it's a therapy that helps people process traumatic memories, so they're less emotionally charged. And you know what's amazing? It's all about letting the brain do what it naturally wants to do, heal.
And what's so cool about EMDR is that it uses the body's natural healing processes. It's like our brains already know how to heal, but trauma can disrupt that process. EMDR helps to reset things so that healing can happen. It's almost like giving the brain permission to finally move forward. Have you heard about the kind of relief people experience after EMDR sessions?
Exactly. I've read stories about people who, after years of struggling with traumatic memories, finally found relief through EMDR. It's like the brain finally gets to finish processing what happened, so the person can move forward. It's such a powerful reminder that we can heal, even after the most challenging experiences.
That's so inspiring. And it's a reminder that even though trauma can have a deep impact, there are ways to heal that impact. Van der Kolk also emphasizes the importance of feeling safe and connected in the healing process. He talks about how crucial it is to have supportive relationships and a sense of community. Sean, what do you think about the role of relationships in healing?
That's a big one. He actually mentions that trauma often isolates people. They might feel disconnected from others or even from themselves. So, rebuilding those connections is a huge part of recovery. It's about creating a safe space where healing can actually happen. And that's why supportive relationships are so crucial. They're like the foundation for recovery.
Absolutely. And I love how van der Kolk incorporates practices like yoga and mindfulness into the healing process. These aren't just nice-to-have activities, they're essential because they help people reconnect with their bodies in a positive way. Yoga, for example, isn't just exercise. It's about reclaiming your body, making peace with it, and feeling empowered again. How do you think yoga helps people who've been through trauma?
Let's talk about yoga for a second. I think a lot of people see it as just exercise, but in this context, it's so much more. It's about becoming aware of your body, your breath, and the present moment. Trauma can make us feel like our bodies aren't safe places to be, and yoga helps to change that. It's about rebuilding that relationship with our bodies, and that's incredibly healing.
It's about reclaiming your body, making peace with it, and feeling empowered again. And mindfulness works in a similar way, helping people to stay grounded in the present rather than being stuck in the past or anxious about the future. I think that's something we all need, don't you?
You know what I find fascinating? Van der Kolk points out that these practices aren't just for people who've experienced severe trauma. They're beneficial for everyone. We all experience stress, and these techniques can help us handle that better. It's about taking care of our minds and bodies, no matter what we've been through.
So true. And I think that's a great takeaway for our listeners. Whether you've been through trauma or not, the Body Keeps the Score has lessons for everyone. It's about understanding how our bodies and minds are interconnected and how we can take care of both. It's about finding balance and healing in everyday life.
And that's something we all need to hear. Healing isn't just about talking, it's about moving, breathing, and reconnecting with our bodies. And, as Kolk shows us, when we do that, incredible things can happen. It's a journey, but it's one worth taking.
Absolutely. So, if you're listening and this resonates with you, I highly recommend picking up this book. Whether you're on a healing journey or just looking to understand yourself better, it's a must read. And remember, it's okay to ask for help. Healing is a process, and it's okay to take your time.
Couldn't agree more, Christy. And remember, healing is a process, it takes time, but it's possible. Don't be afraid to seek out the support and resources you need. Whether it's therapy, mindfulness, yoga, or just reaching out to a friend, every step you take is progress.
That's a great note to end on, Sean. Thanks to everyone for tuning in today. We hope you found this discussion as insightful and inspiring as we did. Remember, your journey is your own, and it's okay to take it one step at a time.
Definitely. And if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who might benefit from it. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other. See you next time.